Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mark Peely and I'm your ultimate Peely boy. And thank you very much again for dropping by to my channel for this video. If you're first time visitor here in my channel, please hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell for more videos. At least you'll be notified. And again, the topic for today would be pretty much on how to handle final interview sessions and you're on the spot. So let's have this as the ultimate tips on handling final interview sessions on your application. So there's gonna be a disclaimer before we proceed that it doesn't necessarily mean that if you follow these steps, it's a guarantee that you're gonna get that job or you're gonna pass that final interview. No, it's pretty much more of like helping you and in your preparation, of course. All of us have our own preparation for the final interview, but at least getting a lot of ideas, a lot of advices or tips won't hurt and could potentially help you even further on handling this final interview session. So the goal is for you to ace that final interview and at the end of the day, get that contract signing on the company of your choice. So we'll start on the first one, and I think one of the normal things to or obvious things that you have to do whenever you're scheduled on a final interview, you have to be early on your scheduled interview session. I know that most of the time you wait for that particular interviewer, if even if it's already the time of your interview. However, be you have to be really early, not because you want to do a lot of things, but also to make yourself comfortable, confident and peaceful before you start the interview. Of course, there's no way that you're not going to be nervous because this is the final interview. This is the last step. This is the last interview session that you're going to do before the decision if you're going to be accepted by the company or it will be the other people applying on the same position. I know that there are a lot of things on your head before the actual interview session, but again, if you're early, you have a lot of time to be prepared. You have a lot of time to, suit your mood before the interview. If you're the type of person who practice their statements or whatnot, I mean, this is also perfect because it will put you in the mood and be prepared. What you can do a lot of stuff, a lot of things, a lot of reviewing about the company profile, about the position that you're applying, about your previous interview sessions within the company before you made the last interview, before you actually made to the last step. It will help you to become really prepared rather than arriving on the exact time of your interview session. So I think that's the number one for me. You have to be early on your scheduled interview session. Next one would be, of course, since you really wanted to get that job, you mean business. You are selling yourself. I think another thing that we really look forward to is for you to power dress. Not really super duper like you're in a tuxedo or like super form, but again, it depends. It's how you represent yourself. I think we give credits, not really we, but I also look on how the person dress up because that means the person is giving this much importance on this particular interview session. And whenever I see the applicant at first, it gives me already an impression of what profile the person is before that person even started to talk. And I think that's very powerful. And if you really mean business, if you really wanted to get and ace that job, you really have to show that you are putting effort not just on your preparation, on your thoughts, on your answers, but also how you dress yourself, how you sell yourself, how you want others, especially especially the people that will do final interviews, to think of you, perceive you as their final candidate. So I think that's one important thing for me if you want to really handle this final interview session. You have to really over, not really over this, but you have to really dress professionally, business attire and all that. Okay. And during the time of interview, so let's say the interview already started and there were like these introductions and checking if your previous interview, how were you, and on answering those kind of stuff. You have to be yourself. You have to be yourself. Do not pretend that you're someone else. Do not pretend that you're the person that we are looking for that position. No, because a lot of times this is being misinterpreted. Like you want to be really, perceived as someone that can really handle the job, etc. Mind you, you haven't done the job yet. So how would you think that you can handle the job? Right? So you have to show us if you are capable of getting what the instructions done, learning the instructions, following the guidelines. It's all about you being, open about it. So you have to be yourself. You don't have to pretend and work on your accomplishments. Those accomplishments are done, history, right? The one that you're talking right now, it's different. This is you starting your career with the new company, with the final with the managers that are doing your final interviews. So you have to be yourself. You have to be someone that is true to yourself. The one that, we want to see the real you during the interview, not someone who are just pretending to be that best person, because we have to admit it, we would know if you're pretending and if you're really true to yourself. We appreciate if you're gonna be showing the real you, because we are looking if you're gonna be a good fit, not just with the company but also to the people that you're gonna be working with, and also with the difficulty level of the task that you're gonna be handling. Again, it doesn't necessarily mean that you did good before is you're gonna do good on this particular job. No, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a given thing. But if how you understand, how you accept, and how you prepared on handling surprises, a lot of unknown stuff, and your willingness to unlearn, that's a different story. And that's going to be your advantage if you have shown that potential. Fourth would be, you really know what you need to say. There are things that uh, difficult questions may arise, and people tend to like backtrack what happened before, and of course with nervousness included, sometimes you tend to mess up with the organization of thought and how you answer the question. And sometimes when you relate to the person who asked you that question, it's not that organized as you want it to be, and you're gonna realize this after the interview. Oh god, I messed up. Oh, what did I answer? It wasn't supposed to be the content that I want to share, but you mentioned it. So you really have to know what you're going to say. You really have to know what type of situations, because you have to expect that some of the questions would be situational based, because they want to test how you handle those kind of situations. What did you do? What was the result? Right? What were the particular actions and steps you had in order for you to execute that particular task? Now, if you're gonna be really good at backtracking, you just have to, highlight one of the best factors that you applied this. And from there on, if you're really a big part of that project, there should be no problem on delivering. There should be no problem on organizing your thought, because you yourself were the ones who actually organized that project, planned that project, executed that project. So you really have to know what you were going to say, rather than think of something and then just expound from it. I tell you, we would know. We would know. So I suggest you stick to the ones that you really did. You stick to the ones that you really became a part of, and from there it would be a different case. And last but not the least, of course, aside from being confident, aside from being call this the best person for that particular job, a lot of times people become too complacent or relaxed. Since this is a final interview, there's a high probability that I'm gonna get the job. No, it doesn't work that way. Actually, this is the last stage wherein you will compete amongst the others who also qualified for that particular and last interview. So you don't have to assume that you're okay. You have to maintain that kind of energy, level of energy that you did during the previous interview sessions, that kind of what they call this confidence, that kind of what they call this consciousness in terms of answering and being, being knowledgeable of what you do. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're in the final interview, you have the best shot of all. It could be, but then again, remember, you're not the only one applying for that particular job. So you don't have to really to become overconfident just to show us that, yeah, you can handle the job. Okay, you should be the best person among the rest. No. But are you the best person to have that kind of attitude compared to the rest? Because we know what you're gonna do once you get in. We know what the level of difficulty your role entails when you get in, and you don't know that. So from our end, we would know, or from my end rather, I would know if you're the best person to handle all those stress and how you're gonna manage that stress and for you to become, successful on the role that you have chosen. So I think that's basically it for the top five ultimate tips. Acing a final interview again is not as easy as ABC, but there are tips or there are ways for you to be prepared. And if ever you're not gonna be chosen for the job and you gave your best, don't feel bad about yourself because you did your best. You showed everyone who were a part of that final interview what you are made of, and just have to assess yourself. What you think the challenge is, where you think you lack, or you lack preparation. But don't be too hard on yourself. You just have to be confident, bounce back, and try another application, or try again after a couple of months if you really want to stay with this, if you really want to apply for the same company. Believe me, you can actually do it. These are just tips. At the end of the day, it's going to be you who is going to handle this. All the stress, all the difficulty, all the face to face interaction with the managers. And you can do this. You can do this. So good luck. And again, for those people who are watching right now, I know that probably you're in the last couple of months of your college studies, and you're trying to ace a job after college. Good luck to you guys. Again, it's a whole new different dimension after college, and it's a battle of you amongst the rest of the population. It's not just you and your classmates anymore battling on the grades of your teachers and etc. No, this is more of you and what you are made of, and we believe that you can handle this. So good luck, and thank you very much again for watching this video. Hope if you're not subscribed, kindly hit the subscribe button and share, like, and share. Feel free to put some comments, your best interview experiences, and also if you could put down some comments and tips. So if ever I missed some of the critical things that you think I should have included, feel free to put it there. And again, this is Mark Peely, and I'm your ultimate Peely boy. Hoping to see you again on your next couple of videos to be uploaded soon. Thank you very much. Have a good one.